All right, now it is my tremendous pleasure to introduce Sylvia Day. Sylvia Day is the #1 New York Times and #1 international best-selling author of over 20 award-winning novels sold in 21 countries, with tens of millions of copies of her books in print. If you're not going, oh my God, you should be. Her Crossfire series has been optioned for television by Lionsgate, and she has been nominated for the Goodreads Choice Award for Best Author. But wait, one publisher is not enough for the prolific multi-million selling romance writer Sylvia Day. For the 4th time in the past year, this best-selling author has completed a major book deal. St. Martin's Press announced a 2-book, 8-figure, which I had to use all my fingers to count, figure agreement with Day for a new Blacklist series. Last March, she signed a 2-novella 7-figure agreement with Harlequin. In June, she and Penguin agreed on an 8-figure deal for 2 more Crossfire books. And in July, HarperCollins imprint William Morrow signed her up for a paranormal novella. I want to hear what she has to say. Please join me in welcoming Sylvia Day.
Good morning. I'm shorter than you, Erin. I'm probably shorter than most people here. I wish I could come up here and say that I was going to give a speech about how you can do 8-figure deals. If I could do that, I would probably be doing infomercials instead of keynotes. However, I can tell you that I was not one of those overnight successes, unless you want to consider 10 years worth of work part of being an overnight success. I have reached career milestones and stumbled over pitfalls. I am now a multimillionaire, but I had years where I couldn't pay my bills. And so what I hope you will get by the time I'm done with my keynote is that you don't have to write that huge breakout book the first time out of the gate. You don't have to have this huge, massive success right at the beginning, or you're never going to have it at all. And you may work for many years to get to the point where you publish your first book, or even your 5th, 6th, 7th book. You may reinvent yourself. But it is possible to reach any height if you continue to do what you love, write stories that mean something to you, and to work your best business acumen to make sure that they get as far as they can go. It is a 2-part process, of course, to be a successful author. The one part, of course, the part that we're here for, the reason why we start, nobody sits down to become a writer to be rich. If you are, I'm sorry, it's too hard. It's an extremely difficult business to get into. And I had a teacher when I was in 12th grade, when I was 12 years old, and I think I was in 7th grade at the time, who told me when I wrote an essay on what I wanted to be when I grew up, which was a romance novelist. Yes, I knew this when I was 12. This was after reading this book, which you just saw on the monitor. This is Diane Dunaway's Desert Hostage. And if this gets lost, I will hunt you down. So you see, this is mine. I got that book when I was 12 because my mother walked up to me when I was sitting at the table doing homework, and she slapped it down in front of me, and she said, "I want you to find a man like this." Okay. 12 years old, I was not looking for a man. But I read the book. It consumed me for 3 or 4 days. I stayed up all night with a flashlight under my bed so I wouldn't get in trouble. I went to school zombified, really pissed off that I wasn't at home reading the book. I did try to call in sick a couple times, but my mom wasn't buying it. And when I got to the end, I was so depressed that the story was over, that I had no more to read, that I knew it was like this lightning bolt. I want to torment other people like this. I so want to make them not sleep, not eat, and be horribly depressed when they get to the end. And if I've done that, then I've done my job. And obviously, to do this, I need to be a romance novelist. And so that was my essay. I wrote this essay for my teacher. I was very proud of it. It was a couple pages longer than it had to be because for me, being a romance novelist meant that I was going to have fur stoles. I was going to have a little dog with a diamond collar. I was going to have cabana boys that waved palm fronds over me. I was going to eat bonbons, and nowhere in that picture was I at a typewriter. However, I was going to get there. And I turned my essay in, teacher went through them, I was all excited, and then he said, "Sylvia, please stay after class." Now, this teacher was scary, very scary guy. He took, I never saw him smile the entire time that I was in his class. And staying after to talk to him usually meant that you were gonna get detention and extra homework. And so, I'm like, oh, okay, I stayed afterwards. He said, "Why did you write this essay?" And I said, "Well, I just read this great book, and I want to do that, and I have a great imagination." He's, "Oh, you definitely have a great imagination." He's like, I don't know about the romance novel part of your dream." He goes, "As for being a writer," he goes, "I've enjoyed reading your essays the entire time that you've been in my class. I look forward to them, so absolutely I feel that you'd be an excellent writer. Again, you might want to rethink where you're going with it, but aside from that," and he's like, "I'm not sure about the dog thing either. I'm not sure it's going to work out for you. Definitely not the Cabana Boys, but keep going for it. I love your writing. I really enjoy it. You're very entertaining, and I hope that you'll pursue it." Thank God for him, and thank God for teachers like him who encourage people to write or whatever their dream may be. Because I held on to what he said to me for many years to come. There's many times in the process of getting rejections. Like the day I went out to my mailbox back when we used to snail mail rejections, which doesn't mean I'm old at all, and got 3 self-addressed stamped envelopes in one day and was absolutely certain that that was it. If there was a sign from God that I was not meant to be a writer, 3 in one day was it. Yeah, I turned off my computer, I ate lots of bonbons, I watched some blown-up action movies because I was not watching a romantic comedy, and then I got up the next day and I dusted myself off and I got back to writing my next book. And don't be afraid to try everything. And I hope you have a wonderful and productive weekend. Thank you.